if you're near Texas, you can join us
There we
up
go.
there.
Yes.
Trace,
Come
you want
on.
to join us?
Trace.
You got a microphone.
Welcome.
We're kind of wrapping up, but you can talk about whatever you want. There's still some people out there.
We're
They're
just chilling.
They're not as tired as we are.
We're
but,
just chilling. What time? Let's see.
It's
Okay.
5 o'clock in Las Vegas. We've been on for, it looks like 5 hours, 55 minutes, and 56.
I got my
seconds.
old school Bitcoin shirt
Nice.
on.
Nice. The honey badger.
No, it's got the B on the side.
Oh, nice with
See,
the
this is-
tie box.
yeah, that's from 2011 right there.
I remember when they
old
tried
school,
to convince
yeah.
us
You-
we
you
should
have-
just take that.
You have any idea how many Bitcoins this shirt costs?
Oh, no.
With an S?
2011.
With an S,
no.
right?
Savage.
Savage. Yeah. This thing's antique, man.
Oh,
Yeah, but the
man.
thing is,
It's a
like,
collectible.
you got to spend it, you know, like, or at least back
Well,
in
that-
the day. Well, no.
No, that,
Back
but
in
still,
the day,
early-
when the narrative was more about payments, it was all like, yeah, I'm using my Bitcoin,
still,
but
I
now
think
it's just regretting
early,
everything.
Well,
early
you
people
needed to
spending it created the
You,
market.
you needed to just buy what you spent, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, see, that's where people are not understanding the Bitcoin halvening, because I mean, I put a tweet out in 2015 that you can't price in the halvening because of one is the price elasticity of demand for transactional use. So you can use Bitcoin for transactions, and you don't care what the price of the underlying is. But the elasticity is actually in the transaction cost, right, for using it. And it's totally fine to use Bitcoin just for transactions, because you're buying, you're sending, and receiving your thing, and you're only exposed to the price of Bitcoin for a couple seconds, right?
Yeah.
Like Jack Mallers is working on fiat over Lightning, right?
Yeah, we talked about it. We think we found a loophole though. There's a bit of a problem. Like if you're buying dog food and you scan the QR code and you put your debit card in
to feed
you
the
buy
chickens
dog
out of
food,
the
it's
thing.
great. But what if the QR code that you scanned happens to belong to you? Now you're buying Bitcoin with your debit card, and I don't know where it came from, and it gets all into the KYC thing, because I'm actually keeping the Bitcoin on the other end now. It's going to me.
Huh?
I know. It's trouble.
You know, it's gonna.
Don't exploit it.
Well, this is the next big attack coming on Bitcoin is from Munchin enforcing the travel rule, and it's going to be brutal and it's going to be ugly.
So what's the travel rule?
So it's under the Bank Secrecy Act. You have the travel rule, and for the most part, the industry's been operating in kind of a little bit of a gray area with this, but Munchin and FAFT actually, you know, and the VASP regulations that FAFT has put out and everything. So the travel rule, when you have a transaction between two financial institutions, you have to attach all of the beneficiary information and the recipient, the sender information. So you have to have all this personal information attached to the transaction.
From a KYC point of view.
From KYC AML stuff, right? And so part of the problem with this is, well, one is you can send, when you send Bitcoin, you just send to an address. You don't know who's on the other side of the address necessarily. And so when customer, like when an exchange customer makes a withdrawal, even if they represent to the exchange that they're pulling it to a personal wallet, they've lied to the exchange, and really they're taking it from Crack into their Binance account. $5,000 per occurrence per day fine.
Oh.
Every single transaction that every single customer is doing. And that's for an initial offender. If you're a repeat offender, or even worse, an egregious offenders, it's $25,000 per occurrence per day.
But we
So
saying
This is every single transaction
So
going on.
your actions could bankrupt the exchange.
Well, yeah. So if the exchanges do not comply with travel rule, they're going to be fined out of existence. So that's a big personal information attack that's going to be coming on the industry, basically, because they're going to be they're taking advantage of the lack of privacy and fungibility in Bitcoin's base layer.
All right, I'm slightly scared, but I'm not as scared as last time when you told me that Coinbase was going to be clawing back all the Bitcoins that they'd ever sold or given to me that I certainly don't have anymore.
No, it would be
they owned them all the time, and I never owned them.
Well, it would be Coinbase creditors, and it would be because they have a superior legal title to you.
I'm still not going to have them.
Hey, you know,
broke is
like,
broke, and I'm broke.
well, you know, and hopefully the federal judge believes your story, because if he believes that you do have the keys, he can actually throw you in jail under contempt of court indefinitely, and you cannot challenge your illegal detention.
Well, you know what Hunter S. Thompson said? He said, many fine books have been written in prison.
Yeah, I'm waiting for Ross's, you know.
I'm very, I try not to get on it, but yeah, I'm very disappointed that Ross hasn't put out a book with his side and his side of the story, and that I don't know that he's doing a great job communicating.
Oh, he didn't do it. That's his story. He's sticking to it.
Well,
surely
even then, write a book.
Surely
Write a
the
book
two feds
man.
that surely the two feds that run the business, like after he went down, surely they should get the same sentence if the implications
Well,
are
even worse, I'm probably going to read their book before I read Ross's book at this point.
It was the rogue federal agents that have been in jail that were running it all, you know, and who knows when the server was actually compromised, or I mean, it's a real mess, but
it's highly questionable to the point where the government was running it as a honeypot to try to trap more people. Yet at the same time, they're mad at Ross. There's so many damages every day that it's open, yet they kept it open and they incurred these damages.
Of course.
I mean,
and really, and then you have you have the Australian government shipping drugs to Germany, and you have the German government shipping drugs to the U.S. But they're all trying to catch each other and don't know that each other, you know, they're all. I mean, it's a real monkey show.
It was a real tangled web, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's it's going to be very interesting seeing how this all plays out. I think that you know, this privacy anonymity debate is going to just really flare up. Now we got to check a box on our tax return.
Yes.
How fun's that going to be?
Can you even mention like you know, your credits in certain game, any virtual credit like Fortnite credit or whatever? That's
and you know, if you check that box, which I'm going to check that box, my exchange just entered into a whole nother category. I'm definitely getting looked at now. Like, you're 100% getting looked at, and obviously you should tell the truth. You should check the box if you need to check the box.
Well, I mean, of course you're going to check the box, and but I mean, looked at by who? I mean, there's fortunately the IRS has been, their budgets keeps getting cut and everything. So I mean, they're going to go after like people who are willfully and intentionally like not paying, and they have an easy case because there's a 1099 and nothing got paid.
Hopefully, people with larger stacks and that kind of thing. I mean.
Don't do that.
Shoes on the other foot now. But no, my main hope is that
I need ghost money, man. I need some privacy and fungibility money. This Bitcoin stuff's just, you know, I was talking with Johnny Dilly about this last night at the carnivore dinner, and you know, is the privacy, anonymity, fungibility, are those really essential characteristics of sound money? Or are they not really needed? You know, and we don't have that decision yet being made by the market.
Well, I think one thing that was really interesting that Giacomo had mentioned was the fact that when Taproot and Schnorr comes in, it's going to make transactions that go through CoinJoins cheaper. So your motive for going through a CoinJoin is actually for a cheaper transaction, not because you want it as private.
Well, it might be cheaper in terms of Bitcoin transaction fee, but it's not cheaper in terms of the external costs that come with that.
If you have to pay legal fees or something like that,
and or increased scrutiny on your account at an exchange or whatever. I mean, there's a lot of things besides just what's happening in the network, right? Unfortunately, that's part of this 4D chess.
So one thing that we talked about last year was your interview with Mad Bitcoins was the rehypothecation, the work that was going on around that. Has there been any kind of developments, any laws that have come out?
Yeah, I mean, BlockFi raised more money, and they actually put right in their terms of service that they can rehypothecate your Bitcoins.
And so just for the audience, a rehypothecation is where someone's in custody of the Bitcoin, and then it can essentially be lent on and
lent out multiple times the same collateral. Yeah. It's a real mess.
So the question,
hold your own keys, man.
The question there is, did Coinbase sell me my Bitcoins, or did they sell me kind of like a license to my Bitcoins or something? And later on, they're going to claw them back.
Well, it's not Coinbase clawing them back. It's the creditor of Coinbase that claws them back, and has a superior legal right, unless you got them cleansed through Wyoming, because we have a lien cleansing provision in the law in Wyoming.
Can you pay your taxes in Bitcoin?
No, I don't think so.
No.
Not yet.
That'd be pretty good if you could pay your taxes. That
Are we
sounds pretty
just
good.
about done?
We're trying to fight on. We just passed 6 hours. That's pretty epic.
Oh my gosh.
It makes me tired. But Dan did a bunch of it. I had like a lunch break. I'm satisfied.
Like a 5-hour marathon.
Yeah. Strong like bull.
Strong like bull.
Well, I think I'm.
After party tonight for the Scammy Awards.
Yeah, it's at like 10 o'clock. That's about bedtime.
Yeah. Nice. So anything else coming up? Are you going to work on another state like Wyoming or
No.
what's the plan?
No,
Anything
I'm
you
not
want to
gonna-
tell people about? Or?
No, not really. I mean, not going to work on another. That's a lot of work we did in Wyoming. Like
Yeah,
other people
yeah.
can go find people to do it pro bono for them.
And you've
Yeah.
set a good example now. There's like a precedent on the books. that
Yeah,
you say
yeah. A lot of
it's
states are
different.
using our law actually,
Excellent.
which is good, because it's good law that we got passed. So,
Are you working on anything in Vegas then? So or Nevada to sort of help
Nah,
Bitcoin proliferate?
so someone else needs to get in the ring and do some of the work. Did my tour duty.
Nice, nice. Oh, what do you think about Bitcoin SV, Bitcoin Cash? Still good buys?
Oh man, that's a great example of what a really restricted float can do, and that's actually what you want. You want really strong hodlers of the coin that really restrict the float. But even a piece of dog crap can go up $2 billion in a day in market cap.
I think it's one of the things that I don't think it will ever go to zero because you're always going to have the diehard people that just can't give up on their investment.
Even if not, Dogecoin has been abandoned. There's not even been a pull request for like 5 years, and it has a
And it's still
$260
trading.
million market cap. There are Dogecoin holders of last resort out there, man.
What's the policy, monetary policy? Is it ever
Lose
inflating
everyone's
or
money.
is it ever inflating or is it?
No,
just-
I think it's like a 20 something stock to flow ratio. Actually, it's a decent store of value.
Yeah.
Actually, somewhat.
I love that. Yeah.
There's something strange about
It's
when
wild.
new people come in, they get a little bit of Bitcoin. It doesn't go up fast enough for them. They start looking at the rest of the market. They hear about this funny doggy coin. And then pretty soon they put their money in the funny
In
doggy coin.
the
And it has
Dogecoin.
no kind of logic, no kind of research, no kind of like,
Yeah, but if enough of that saleable float on Dogecoin gets sucked up, you can have a big increase in that price with very little capital.
we're not
And
giving you any ideas. here, man.
Then it has to get. But the problem is getting into a position you can't get out of.
Yeah.
Right, because there's no liquidity on the
Yeah.
sell side. So who's going to come along after you and buy that Dogecoin?
Some other sucker.
Sucker. You got your Shiba Inu.
Dog fans.
I think
Dog
it
fans.
does really fascinate me though how it's such a good point that Jackson Palmer like a bit he goes up
Hates
to
that coin. He
yeah
doesn't even like
Solid-
Bitcoin.
years ago and
I like
yet
Jackson,
it's still
but he
going. There's
hates that
people
coin.
still buying it. It's almost like a standard candle of pumps as well. People are like, all right, yeah, Dogecoin's going to pump now. The market's going to follow. Almost like there's people more devout to to trading Dogecoin than there are trading Bitcoin. It's quite weird.
It's got a good image. They like that dog.
Yeah.
It's cute. Like,
I
makes
wanna-
them feel good.
I want to know why miners mine it though,
Yeah.
right?
It's linked up
Because
to Litecoin now, right? It's merged mined with
is
Litecoin.
it? Is it?
Was it merged?
My
now?
understanding has been merged mined with Litecoin for a while. So
Oh, I
now
have
you
no
to ask,
idea.
why do people mine Litecoin?
Yeah,
Same question. And
'Cause-
it
'cause
doesn't
they're-
even have a dog.
because they're gonna do extension blocks. That's why they mine Litecoin. They're gonna have some magic in the extension blocks.
I don't know. I bought it when it was supposed to went up, and then it went up, and then I didn't sell, and now it went back down. So I don't really care.
Whoops.
Yeah, I didn't have that.
It goes
much.
up, it
Doesn't
comes
matter.
down.
Yeah, it's like all
It's
the
all a
other
cycle.
things. Although still, if I had been called Mad Litecoins, I would
That's-
I would have been set. I was like this close.
Well, I did want to kind of create your, well, not the alternate ego, but like what's the opposite, like the sworn enemy called sad shitcoins.
Oh, he
Which
said it
really-
is merge mine with Litecoin.
It is
Aha.
nice.
Point for Gryffindor.
Oh, so they're both on
Wow,
both
so-
script.
So someone's listening to us.
There was
Yeah,
a time
there's a
when
couple people.
when I
It's
was
been a
like,
long time.
I was in the top 10, I think, on We Mine LTC in 2013. I was like really proud. Obviously, Yeah, didn't make money as you do.
Well, I think it's time to wander off.
We have to send us someone else.
Yeah,
Bring
there's
us,
Saifedean.
He won't come. You're not big enough for him. We need some kind of like a CNBC logo or something. He's not going to fall to like little. Even though we ran this interview with him like years ago.
Oh, you gotta have fun with it, man.
And the interview has 100,000.
Can you convince him?
You think he'd like be like, "Hey, thanks for running that interview years ago," but nah, he doesn't know who you are, so he doesn't care. Oh, there goes Daisy. We're gonna get her. She's supposed to be promoting a conference, but so much for that. I'm not gonna promote it on myself. I think it's in Malta.
Oh, Dogecoin had a great wallet update.
I remember
for 5 years.
The old wallet used to look just like the Bitcoin Core, but it had little pictures of Doges.
Yeah.
Which, again,
and it was in Comic Sans.
It was in Comic Sans. It drove them crazy.
It's just wild that you can these things once the first speculation network effect takes a little bit of root.
Yeah.
You know, the longevity of some of these things is really kind of wild.
But I think what's interesting about Dogecoin is
oh,
let's talk about magic. It's a bad idea. It's never worked out well for anyone.
Buy Bitcoin. It's not too late.
Peter Schiff, yeah, he did that too.
It was sad. It was sad, but it was great to see him grasping for his wallet keys.
Oh yeah,
oh my
savage.
And that computer didn't memorize my password right. And I'm like, sorry, man, that's never gonna work. You shouldn't.